Welcome to NYNJPA Weather, your weather source for the Northern Mid-Atlantic. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. We'll start this morning with the visible satellite picture as of 9:30 a.m. And as you can see, we have a weak cold front hanging over the New York City metropolitan area back through northeastern Pennsylvania, and a high pressure dominating much of the rest of the east. Now, this cold front is not going to produce much in the way of any precipitation or even cloud cover because there's a strong amount of substance in the atmosphere that's sinking air from the upper levels of the atmosphere down to the surface. Any type of minor lifting that this cold front is going to produce at the surface is going to be pretty much negated. So, for the most part, at most, you'll have a few scattered clouds, maybe an isolated shower, but really there's not much of a threat for precipitation today. High pressure is going to be controlled throughout much of the Philadelphia metropolitan area, and you'll definitely feel the difference behind the cold front and ahead of the cold front this afternoon. In the Philadelphia metropolitan area and basically much of the southern half of New Jersey, temperatures will rise into the mid-80s to lower 90s. Could possibly even be a few mid-90s over portions of southeastern Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, to the northeast of this cold front, basically over much of the New York City metropolitan area and Connecticut, temperatures will be a little bit closer to 80, anywhere from the lower 80s along the immediate coast around the Long Island Sound and Long Island itself, and mid-80s over New York City and much of the Hudson Valley. So overall, not a bad day for the most part. Humidity will be lower over the New York City metropolitan area and higher over the Philadelphia metropolitan area. But the key here is that it will be dry and mostly sunny this afternoon. So if you can get down to the beach, I would do so. However, trouble is brewing further out to the west as a strong cold front is situated over the Central Plains. That cold front will approach the East Coast by tomorrow evening. However, the latest model guidance clearly shows the worst is going to be further to the north with this cold front. This is the European model guidance from the Penn State EWOL website at 500 millibars around tomorrow evening, let's say about 6-7 p.m. Now, the key point I want to focus on here is the area I have circled in yellow. This is strong upper level lifting. The stronger the upper level lifting, the better potential you'll have for strong to severe thunderstorms. And as you can see, it's clearly focused towards northern New York and New England. Does that mean that the northern mid-Atlantic is out of the woods as far as severe weather? No, not exactly. With a very warm, humid air mass ahead of this cold front, we're talking about temperatures in the mid-80s along the coast to mid-90s over the Delaware River Valley, and dew points in the 60s, possibly even touching 70 degrees. That's going to set the stage for a very unstable atmosphere. And a trigger like this cold front, that's going to produce a chance for showers and strong to severe thunderstorms. However, with the best dynamics focused further to the north over the central Hudson Valley, New England, and points northward into Canada, the best potential for severe weather is clearly going to be further north of the New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan area. So for tomorrow afternoon, expect hot and humid conditions, followed by a line of showers and strong to severe thunderstorms. These thunderstorms are going to be capable of producing wind gusts over 50 miles per hour, large hail, heavy downpours, frequent lightning. The good news is that wind shear won't be all that impressive, so the potential for a tornado is rather small. In fact, I'd almost call it non-existent. So at this point, what we're looking at is a strong line of showers and thunderstorms moving through tomorrow afternoon, evening, clearing out by late evening. So if you have a baseball game you want to go to tomorrow evening, use some caution, be prepared for a possible rainout or at least a lengthy delay. But overall, I think the worst, again, is going to be further north into the Hudson River Valley. The 500 millibar pattern from Thursday all the way through this weekend and into early next week is pretty much going to look like what we have in front of us right here. The brunt of the hot and humid conditions is going to be centered over the plains and the Delaware River Valley, where temperatures will easily break the 90-degree mark and possibly break some records, with high temperatures possibly breaking 100 degrees in a few locations like Oklahoma, especially around the Red River Valley. Now, the storm track is going to be focused to the north of the Great Lakes and then slide down through New England. Why is this happening? Well, the heart of the ridge axis, is basically set up over the central Great Lakes down through the Tennessee River Valley. And that puts the northern mid-Atlantic on the northeast quadrant of this upper level ridge, which produces a northwesterly flow. So what does that mean? Well, basically we're not at the brunt of the hot and humid conditions, but we're still going to have temperatures above normal, anywhere from the lower 80s to the upper 80s. Could squeeze out a few lower 90s in the Delaware River Valley some afternoons, but the brunt of the hot and humid conditions will be focused to the southwest of the northern mid-Atlantic. Unfortunately, that also means that disturbances will be diving south from the Great Lakes towards the northern mid-Atlantic every so often. These disturbances will be weakening as they move towards the northern mid-Atlantic, so I don't expect much in the way of severe weather, but there will be a pesky shower or thunderstorm here and there each afternoon through this entire weekend and into early next week. Otherwise, outside of those showers and thunderstorms, high pressure will be in control, centered over the Ohio River Valley down through Virginia, and as a result, we can expect slightly lower humidity than what we're dealing with right now, temperatures in the 80s. Overall, not bad for beach conditions through next weekend. So if you want to go to the beach next weekend, this is the weekend to do it. Also, I just want to point out there's a tropical low we're going to have to keep an eye on that's going to be to the south of Cuba by this weekend. Now, I've been warning my premium customers that there is a potential for tropical development in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean for the start of June, and it looks like the models are finally starting to pick up on that threat. I warned about this about 2 weeks ago, so we're pretty much on track on what I think this tropical season is going to produce for much of the Atlantic. So it looks like we're going to be in for an active tropical season and also the potential for a few thunderstorms each afternoon. Thank you for trusting NYNJPA Weather. I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Have an excellent afternoon.